Now we will be covering how to give IP addresses to our Red Hat Enterprise Linux 6 64-bit. So I will log in as root user. My password is 123456. Since it takes time every time when I have to enter the password, so I am making it little bit smaller. Password, I'm changing my password to 1. Now my password of root account is 1. As such, it is not recommended to give such a short pass, but we are just experimenting, so it is okay. Now I just want to check the IP address. What is the IP address? As can be seen, the first line card will be shown as Ether0. Second will be ETH1. As in the case of Windows, there it will show local area connection 1, 2. Now it is having IPv6 address, but it is not having any IPv4 address. So first of all, we want to give statical IP address, and in my case I want to give the address 172.24.0.51. So how to give the address? The command is system config. One by one we will try to give the address, and we'll see what are the problem that we are facing, then we will troubleshoot. So the command for giving the IP address is system config network. We have to click on device configuration, again press enter. Now what it is showing, use DHCP. That means we have chosen the option to dynamically obtain the IP addresses. So I will, with the tab, I will remove this option. I will give the address. Which address I want to give? 172.24.0.51. I will be giving the mask 255.255.00. At this point of time, we are not concerned with the gateway, primary server and DNS server. These two parameters are more than sufficient. So I will select the OK. I will click on save, then save and quit. Then I will start. I have to restart the service network, restart. Whenever we are making the changes, either reboot the system, which is not the recommended practice. So what we have to do? We have to do service networks. Now it is giving some error. It is talking about some service network manager. Basically, now in this version there are two services which control the IP addresses. One is network and while second is network manager. So both are conflicting. We have to shut down the one service. So in our case, we will be shutting down that network manager service. So this is the command for temporarily shutting down the service. Service network manager stop. But when we will reboot again, it will restart. So check config network manager off for permanently disabling the service. Again I will rerun the service network restart. Now it is not giving that error. We will check the address. Oh, what has happened? Now even that ETH0 interface is not visible. So we will modify a little bit the command. If config -a, it will show all the interfaces. As we can say, interface is there, but still address has not been given. We want to see what is the problem. So we will open the file. Network scripts. We will open the file where actually our Linux system stores the IP addresses. The file's name is etc sysconfig network script. In that case, there is one file ifconfig with the name of the interface. We will open this file. Just look at this. What is it written? On boot no. That means it is not getting activated. So what we have to use? We have to change this to yes. So escape wq. Again I will run that command. No need to type again and again. Linux keeps a history of 1000 commands. You can arrow keys, we can go to the previous command. So again we are running the command. Now we will check what has happened. Oh, as we can see, now our system has been allocated one address 172.24.0.1. Another thing that we want to set is to properly give our computer a name. It is very necessary. Most of the time when you are going to implement the servers, there will be problems if you have not given your system a proper name. So in our case, we want to give one proper name. What should be the format of the name? Like server51.example.com. Here the example.com is the domain. This domain you can use for the examples, for writing books, this. So in our cases, most of the time we will be using this domain example.com. So now we want to check whether we have given the names correctly or not. The command for checking is hostname command. As we can see, it is specifying server51.example.com as the fully qualified domain name. Then we will check DNS domain name. Here it is showing some host lookup failure. Always remember, whenever you are installing system, give proper names, otherwise later on there will be lot of problem. So now we want that when I run this DNS hostname command, it should show example.com, and when I run this command hostname, it should show server51.example. For that we have to make changes in two files. First file is extra host files. Now what is the format of the file? The format of the file is the IP address that you have given to your system, then fully qualified domain name. In our case it is example.com, then again the computer's name. Now when we say that our fully qualified domain is server51.example.com, and then I say server51 is my computer's name, so I can deduct that example.com is it is just like in my case my name is Vipin Gupta, then I am saying my name is Vipin. From these two statements I can deduct that my caste is Gupta. Same way, domain name is nothing but the caste of the system. We call that as example.com. So we have to make in host file these entries. This should be the syntax. We have to make changes in another file also, that is sysconfig network. It is already in correct form, so it is okay, but this will get activated only when we are going to reboot the system. So I have rebooted the system. Sometimes you can fast reboot by specifying -F option also. So we are waiting for our system to boot. Then again we will check whether we have been able to properly give the name or not. So again it is booting. After checking whether hostname command and DNS domain name command is working properly, what we are going to do now, we will try to give the address dynamically. We will see how to give the addresses dynamically. Again I'm waiting my system to reboot. already have changed the password 1. So host name command is properly showing. Now DNS domain name command, that it is working properly. Now I can check the address. If config, it is working. Now sometimes we need to dynamically give the addresses, and sometimes we also want to run internet in guest operating system. So you have to make two changes. First we will go to the settings. Here the option is bridge. We will make this option as a NAT. Then again we will run this command, system config network. Now we are trying to give the address dynamically. Now I will say use DHCP. Okay, I will say save and quit. Then we will again run that command, service network restart. I will clear the screen with Ctrl L. Again check the address. Oh, as we can see, we have been successfully able to get the address dynamically. Now again I want to give the static address because in lecture I want to implement the yum server. For yum server we need static addresses. So what option I am going to choose? Again I will go to here. I will change the option from NAT to bridge. Again I will run the command system config network. I will remove this to use DHCP 24 0.51, same address that I have already given, we already know. So okay, again I will run the command, service network restart. Instead of giving, we can write the command in this way also, instead of displaying all the interfaces. Again we are good. In future version, if config is getting depreciated, so there is another command that you can use, IP address show. So you can use this command also. It is showing what address it is having. That means we have been successful in allocating addresses and one proper name to our system. So we will